welcome to Variety Tech Today. Today we're going to look at some bootleg movies. Yes, sadly it happens. They can be good quality down to downright terrible. So I've got 4 different bootlegs that I ended up with, and I've got a story for each of them. I'll start out with the best one. This is Star Wars Rebels Complete Season 4. You don't see a problem there, do you? Neither do I. I bought this off eBay because they were the cheapest seller. They had undercut everything else, said it was brand new, and I got it. It was in plastic wrap, but something seemed a little off. When you look closely at the cover, you might notice that the printing resolution is slightly lower than what store-bought and Disney-produced DVDs and Blu-rays usually are. It's not something you would catch right off the bat. But nevertheless, it is printed on high-quality gloss paper, and the resolution is decent for something that isn't mass-produced by a multi-billion-dollar corporation. When you open it up, the discs inside also have a glossy finish. They were printed onto the disc. It's not inkjet printed discs or labels. These are actually good quality printing on the discs. But as is the same with the outside, the resolution is slightly lower than it should be. Flip it around and you'll see that it is in fact BDR, or recordable consumer Blu-ray discs. And the type of Blu-ray case it comes in isn't even one of the ones that Disney uses. All I had to do was contact the seller, send a picture of the back of the disc, and he knew what I meant. I got my refund. So, please, don't pirate. Not only is it illegal, it's not fair, it's not nice. You might say, oh, Disney's rich, they can take it. Well, yes, they are rich, but they also employ how many millions of people? And it's the principle of the thing, whether they're the big guy or the little guy. And that's assuming it's available for purchase, which this is readily available for physical or streaming purchase. There's no good reason. They were being very opportunistic. But what if Disney refuses to release something? They've been doing that in recent years with 3D movies. That drives me crazy. Very inconsistent. I refuse to buy a 3D movie in 2D. If a 3D Blu-ray is available, day one pre-order. I don't mind buying it new in that circumstance. But if it isn't, like is the case with Ralph Breaks the Internet, the sequel to Wreck-It Ralph, sure, if I want the bonus features, I'll pick up a used disc-only copy of the 2D version. Perhaps. But the 3D version, thankfully someone did sell this on eBay. For $16, I got the actual true 3D version burned to a full 50 gigabyte Blu-ray disc, so it's the optimum quality. And imagine, Disney, if you actually released it, I would have paid twice that. You're lost, that's what happens. They did the same thing with the Star Wars prequels. Episodes 1, 2, and 3 were converted. They released Episode 1 to theaters, and then they canceled the releases of Episodes 2 and 3, just because they didn't want to share a little money with 20th Century Fox, whom they didn't own at the time. Not good. So, when I noticed the seller on eBay was selling a Blu-ray 3D of Episode 1, before you get too excited though, this is not legit. Obviously it's a bootleg, but the 3D version on it is not legit. So I got my money back for this too. All it is a real-time auto-convert, which basically just pushes it back into the screen a little bit. And even the end credits are cut off. It's really lousy. The outside packaging is also pretty lame. It's in Russian, but it's also low resolution. However, the disc inside, again, done pretty well. It's glossy and high quality, professional printing on the disc. But of course, it's a recordable BDR. So obviously, this is no good for watching, but it's a curiosity. And that brings us to the last and the latest bootleg I got. And this one I was fooled on again, like Rebels. but I got my money back for this. Um, there was one picture in the listing. It was of the movie Dolphin Tale. There was one picture in the listing and it was zoomed in so you couldn't see the entire packaging, but it was billed as a limited Japanese edition. Now, I don't really care too much about that, but I got it because it was a little cheaper than a used copy of the American 3D version. So I figured, why not? Maybe it would even have resale value. However, once you get it in, it has all the tacky telltale signs of a bootleg, worse than the ones you've seen so far. Not only is the front actually a theatrical poster, which is absurd to put on a home media release with the theatrical release date at the bottom, but it also has random logos that have nothing to do with the content. For instance, it says Fujifilm on the side, just to make it look official or something. It has nothing to do with Fujifilm. And it also, this is why I bought it, I thought it was the 3D version, also has uh, the steps to watch it in 3D, the equipment you need. All in Japanese, obviously. But in reality, as you'll see on the side, it's DVD 9, which is basically a recordable dual-layer DVD. So it's not 3D. It's actually a copied version of the DVD edition. And oddly enough, it copied over with errors too, so the special features selection on the main menu aren't even accessible. Now what's curious about this is typically a bootlegger would want to be making as much money as they can off of something with minimal effort. And this release is a strange mixture of the good and the terrible. You'll see it has, like I mentioned, the random logos and inaccuracies. And the other terrible thing is it has an awful case. Like, it has this matte texture with hanging off plastic pieces. It's like a really cruddy case. Like as cheap as you can possibly get. But, then again, it was in a slipcover that opens, go figure. Then inside the disc case, the disc isn't put into one of the hubs like it naturally would be. It's put in a thick, glossy envelope. And then there's a high-quality printed disc inside. It's such a crazy mixture. It just doesn't make any sense. But then again, criminals don't have much logic to them anyway. They wouldn't be doing what they're doing. It was plastic wrapped when I got it, and it was sold by a private seller who also had other movies, and he got this in Japan, but he was unaware, so I got a refund. So, what lessons do we learn today? Well, one is not be careful. I'm not going to say be careful about bootlegs, because retailers today, they'll have your back. If you see a good deal on eBay, I say go for it. A bootleg is very easy to spot once you get it, if that's what it turns out to be, which isn't that often. And if it is, you just submit proof and you will be refunded. Simple. And lesson number 2, Disney and other movie companies, release your movies in 3D. Why not? What is stopping you? They exist already. Don't leave them rotting in a digital vault. It's stupid. There's some films that are now lost films, basically. I know the companies still own them, but if they're not available publicly, they're a lost film. And I will not buy a brand new Blu-ray of a 3D movie in 2D, period. And there are many that feel the same way. So release it, and you've got a guaranteed sale. Even if you're afraid of ordering a large batch, don't do it. Manufacture it on demand. It's extremely simple. Or sell it through an exclusive outlet like Disney Movie Club, for instance. It can be done. There's so many ways. There's no excuse. All right, see you next time.